So happy with our performance. It was finally a complete game for us and a complete performance. I think everyone had a willingness to win and to fight and to support each other. And that is something that we haven't seen since the beginning of the season. And so I think we've hit the restart button and refresh button. And this coaching staff is exactly what we needed. They've been tremendous in only the few days, preparing us this season, and we felt the most prepared we have all year so far. And it was a great game. I'm proud of the point on the road, and I'm excited for the next match.
Thanks, Allie. We're going to open with Julia Poe.
I wanted to ask about, you mentioned that you felt more prepared tonight than you felt coming into any game before. What was it about that preparation? I mean, you didn't have much time with Becky, so what allowed you to feel that way coming into this match?
I think the coaching staff just giving us direction and us applying that direction on the field, but having us play with fun, freedom, and focus. And that was the main preparation this week. They knew it was a short amount of time, but they just told us to go out and enjoy it. And as long as we support each other, communicate to each other, we will find success. And so we just had to dig deep for that mentality, that winning mentality that we've had at the beginning of the year. But they've, applied a few things, the principles in the couple of days we had training. And then we just executed that this game. And I'm sure everyone here could see that we had a complete performance from start to finish. In previous games, it was either the first half was better than the second, or the second half was better than the first. It took us a few minutes to get into it. But here, everybody was willing to back themselves and back the team.
We'll go to Mike Ramajo.
Hey, Allie, thanks for taking the time. You mentioned how the team was, you felt how the team was really prepared today for obviously the result that you guys were able to get out. But what was the week leading up to? What was the week like leading up to this game? And how did that, if you can kind of get more into detail, how did that kind of play a factor into how the team pretty much was deployed out there and managed to get that hard-fought draw?
Yeah, good question. We knew this was kind of a restart, just like I said, to hit the refresh button. Everyone kind of had to, lift the weight off their shoulders a little bit, let go of the past, and, play with a little bit of fun and freedom out there. The previous week was a very tough week for all of us, and it weighed heavy on each and every one of us. And so once Becky and Alan came in, and Brett, of course, our focus was, okay, we're moving forward, we're living in the present, and now we have to perform and have to go back to playing the way that we envision our team to play, because we are very good. And technically, tactically, we are good on the ball. We can pass, we can, unbalance defenses and make it very difficult and challenging for our opponents. And we just needed to dig deep and find that again. And so these couple of training sessions was just, getting us a little bit organized, giving us more direction than we've ever had in the past. And then having us just actually execute that as professionals. We know what needs to be done. And I think it's just their job to get the personnel and the formation out there that fits best.
We'll go to Luis Carlos Pineda.
Hi, Allie. Great point on the road. North Carolina created a lot of attacking chances in the first half. In the second half, the whole team came out with a different mentality, fighting for every single ball. What was said in the halftime huddle to change the attitude of the team?
I think that we knew we were playing well, and we can play when we do have the ball, and we're building our attack. I think we just needed to have more confidence on the ball and more courage, so to speak, and bravery in our attack, and not play with that fear that we're going to lose it. And then it's okay to make a mistake, because we've talked about it this past week as well. Next play speed. What are we doing after we make that mistake? What are we doing after we lose the ball? Are we getting it back in those next 5 seconds? And then who's there to support and communicate to you to then fight to get the ball back and get reorganized and stay compact. Also, how many players can we get behind the ball once we do lose it, so that, they can't have a transition moment. And so those were some of the key factors that we had to talk about at halftime. And also, when we hold the ball up, in the attack, use your body, hold the ball, and then look for somebody underneath the set, and then hopefully connect that next pass once we win it back. So just a few key details that we were already doing well, but we needed to do a little bit better. And so I think tidying up those really encouraged the team to come out and play better the second half. And obviously we had more attack, which was great to see.
We'll go to Austin David.
Hey, Allie, thanks for taking the time. You kind of mentioned it a second ago, just in terms of figuring things out, but how much do you kind of take from this game as a building block for the future, not just from the play standpoint, but from the mentality standpoint, being able to get a point on the road in Becky's first match? How do you kind of take that from both sides?
Yeah, I think we've started off so well with her and the staff, and we have more courage on the ball and confidence, and you could see that in the second half because we are really good players. We just need to connect, especially once we win the ball back. It's like connecting that next pass and going forward, breaking lines. And so that's kind of what we need to focus on more, because I feel like in former games or previous games, we're a bit passive in passing, which means you're passing sideways or backwards. And so we need to play more active passes, which is going forward. But once we win the ball back, it's then connecting that next pass. And you could see we did struggle with that in the middle of the field a little bit, myself included, on intercepting it and then finding the next player going forward. So we need to be a little bit tidier in that. And I think moving forward, teams should have a bit of worry. I think once we have a really good mentality, we're all refreshed and we have a new focus and new goals that we want to accomplish. And I think you mentioned it, that mentality is huge because that's the only thing you can control in a game. Formation, tempo, transitional moments, the opponent, however they can set up, always is uncontrollable. And so I think what we can control and what we can focus on is our mentality and that next play speed that we've been talking about, what you're doing after you make a mistake.
We'll go back to Julia.
Allie, Becky in her first couple of press availabilities has talked about how she really wants this to be kind of a player-coached, player-led team. So for you, especially as a captain, what does that ideal Orlando Pride look like? Like if you could describe what you want, this team to look like on the pitch, what would it be?
I think everyone just playing for each other and making each other look good, setting each other up for success, which means just playing the ball to the right foot, playing the ball and understanding where your teammate wants the ball, defending for each other. If someone makes a mistake, are you there to cover in behind? Things like that. And also have it's not like a hierarchy where older players, rule the field. It's, younger players have a voice and older players are carrying them and bringing them along. And we all are applying the game plan together as a group and a collective, and not be afraid to speak up and use your voice, because when we do use our voice and we're communicative on the field and we encourage each other, then we can find success, which I think we did tonight. And that's what obviously led to the second half chance and opportunities that we created.
We got time for one more. We're going to go back to Mike Gramajo.
Allie, you mentioned how confidence kind of played a key factor in that second half. Obviously, it led to the opening goal. And then obviously, I guess if you can kind of walk us through that goal, because obviously you definitely showed some confidence to make that run.
I was like, move out of the way. That's what they get for playing a box, like spread open like the Red Sea. So I just took my chance. I don't know. I just felt like, watching some of the Premier League too, and players like say, a Man City and how their 3-back plays with such bravery and dribbling and taking space. And so I just felt the confidence that I was already on my front foot. So I played a decent ball, self pass, and just kept running forward. I wanted to dribble down the middle just because it opens up space in the wide areas. And so I heard Sydney, and of course she's my number one gal. And I just tried to put it in an area where she didn't really have to take too many touches and could just place it, because I'd rather her shoot than me any day of the week. But it was just a moment that I felt like I needed to take the team on my back, and I just needed to do it and see how far I could go until I couldn't anymore. And she was right there to finish the chance.